I'm Bridget Kendall. Thanks for listening.
BBC.
Hello and welcome to Sporting Witness with me, Çağıl Kasapoğlu. Today I'm taking you back 20 years to one of the most iconic moments in Turkish football history. It became known as the Flag Incident, and it made former Liverpool star Graeme Souness loved and hated in Turkey. It's April 1996. In front of tens of thousands of passionate fans, Galatasaray are playing Fenerbahçe in an Istanbul derby game.
It was a cup final. It was a two-legged cup final, and we had won the first game in our stadium 1-0. And the second game was in the Fenerbahçe stadium, and it was extremely hostile to say the least, because the supporters, you can dress it up any way you want, but they don't like each other very much.
It was the former Liverpool captain Graeme Souness' first season in charge of Galatasaray, and he was desperate to win a trophy.
Fortunately for us, we were losing 1-0, and in the last minute of the game, Dean Saunders got a goal, which made it 1-1 on the night, and meant that we won the cup on the away goal.
Ortaya bir şu şansı. Arkadan Saunders ve gol. Saunders çok sert vuruyor. Topu ağlara gönderiyor.
And the final whistle goes. All our players run down to behind one goal where our supporters were, and then the celebration started.
Galatasaray and Fenerbahçe's rivalry is one of the biggest in world football, on a par with Barcelona and Real Madrid or Manchester United and Liverpool. So when Galatasaray held on for victory in their rival's backyard, the fans went wild.
Fenerbahçe'de şok, tribünlerde şok.
But as the party started, Graeme caught sight of a Fenerbahçe official who had insulted him when he'd first arrived in Turkey.
One of the vice presidents of Fenerbahçe had said, "What are Galatasaray doing signing a cripple as a coach?" And he was referring to surgery I'd had a couple of years before, which was open heart surgery. And I thought that was a pretty unkind thing to say. So 9 months later, we won the cup in their stadium. A great big flag, great big Galatasaray flag is handed over the barbed wire fence, and the players all took a turn in waving it. And then it was handed to me, and then I waved it. And then I turned around to hand it to someone, and by that time all the players had run up to the halfway line to get the cup. So I now start to jog up to the halfway line with this great big flag, and I'm looking into the emptying stands, and I can see in the director's box, I can see this chap who nine months previous had said some pretty unkind things. So I thought, in a moment of madness, I said, "I'll show you who's a cripple," and I went to the centre circle, tried to get it into the middle of the centre circle. It wouldn't go in, the ground was so hard, and I managed to get it in, I think maybe the second or third attempt. Once I'd run onto the pitch, it was going to be planted. It was going to be planted.
To the Fenerbahçe supporters remaining in the stadium, seeing a huge enemy flag flying in their center circle was the ultimate insult. Graeme Souness realized he needed to get out of there, quickly.
Lifted my head and realised it wasn't maybe the smartest thing I've ever done. A lot of Fenerbahçe supporters were now trying to climb the fence and get onto the pitch. So I managed to get underneath the police shield, and there was lots of stuff bouncing off the police shield, and got into the tunnel. And then I thought I'd got away with it, but just as I thought that, I got a clump on the side of the head. A supporter had got into the tunnel. So I ended up having a bit of a tussle with him, but I eventually got back to the safety of the dressing rooms.
So you were scared?
No. It was, I don't know, the elation of winning the cup. There was no fear. No, there was no fear on the night. And then I can remember getting back into the dressing room and thinking, that's it. When the directors come down when they come in from wherever they are, I'm going to be sacked on the spot and told to catch the first plane out tomorrow. And it was the exact opposite. When they came in, some of them had tears in their eyes. and I've never been hugged and kissed by so many men in such a short time. They were absolutely delighted, obviously, that we had won the cup, and then they seemed even more delighted that I'd planted this Galatasaray flag in the Fenerbahçe stadium. And I get it, because the Turkish society is quite a macho society, and I think they could relate to that. I think Scottish people and Turkish are not quite so different. I think we're quite similar.
In what ways?
Slightly mad, emotional, slightly mad, and capable of crazy things.
Do you regret it now?
No, I can't regret it. I know that our supporters loved it, and I get that. And I fully get why the Fenerbahçe supporters were enraged by it. But as I've said already, this was meant as a protest to this vice president who was very unkind with his words.
Graeme Souness' gesture made him a legend in the hearts of Galatasaray fans, and some even saw an echo of Turkey's heroic history. Souness found himself nicknamed Ulubatlı Souness, after Ulubatlı, a mythical warrior who planted a huge flag of his own in Istanbul when the Ottomans conquered the city in 1453.
Yeah, I understand that was, I think that was from the Ottomans, and it was a young man who I think was wounded but carried the flag to the top of the hill and managed to plant it, and it was a symbol of courage. And so I'm not sure quite if I'm on that level, but I'm extremely pleased and proud that people remember me for doing this.
But the saga of the Souness flag didn't end in 1996. 6 years later, a mentally unstable Fenerbahçe fan nicknamed Rambo swore revenge. He hid in Galatasaray Stadium on the eve of the season's opening game. Then, right after the kickoff, he ran onto the pitch, scared the players with a knife, and planted a Fenerbahçe flag on the center circle. Then, in October 2014, the Galatasaray supporters staged their own reenactment. They built a huge model of Souness planting the flag, took it into the stands, and raised it up as the derby began.
I saw it, and they created sort of me with a flag, and it was the whole of one end of the new stadium, which was quite impressive.
And as I spoke to him at his home, I noticed Souness even had his own statue of the flag incident in his living room.
This is a statue that was made for me by an artist in Istanbul called Pinar, and I think she's got it perfectly. I think it's just fantastic of me with the flag planting it. I think she's got the pose, she's somehow got the face right, and I think the flag was bigger than that, if I'm honest.
Graeme Souness spoke to me, Çağıl Kasapoğlu, for Sporting Witness on the BBC World Service. For more of our sports history programs, go to bbcworldservice.com/sportingwitness.